Also, I'm really proud of that tattoo because at that time I was a really bad tattooer. Hey, what's up? I'm Gia Rose and I'm here today to look at some of my work. I kind of fell into tattooing by accident because I spent a couple of years riding freight trains around the country and I was just in the right time and place. And when I fell into tattooing, I actually had no idea what I was getting myself into. It was not something cool in like a cultural sense, but it was definitely something cool to me because I was more focused at that time frame on trying to learn a trade skill. I wanted to learn a skill that I could take anywhere and do anywhere without having to work for other people. Starting 20 years ago, it would take 10 years to get to a level in tattooing that today you could get to within 3 to 4 years because everything was so gatekept. And that gatekeeping was actually because there weren't clients. Tattooing was not the cultural phenomenon that it is today. And so a lot of it was secrets of the trade. We made our own needles. We made our own pigments and like being able to produce good tattoos, that was part of that. And so when I decided that I really wanted to actually get good at tattooing, that meant that I had to travel and I had to move and I had to go from shop to shop to shop to try to work with better and better and better artists because the only way to learn was to watch and see what other people were doing. The reason I was drawn so much to it was because I felt like what I got out of it was what I put into it. There was a lot of issues coming up tattooing, being female. I have had the experience of being denied jobs because I was a woman. Like I've been told we don't have women in our shop. I've been told we already have a woman, like you can't have more than one. In spite of that, I will say that once you're in, I would make the same amount dollar for dollar as my male counterparts. And there was no limit to what I could achieve, and not very many other industries can claim that. And I find that tattooing is very unique in that way. And it's given me everything in my life, so. You guys pulled up one of my oldest tattoos ever. It had to have been done around 2004, 2005 maybe. I almost went into realism because of this. So this is actually a memorial piece for a friend of the woman who got this tattoo who passed away serving in the military. And instead of getting something that was a name or a date or something military, she asked me to tattoo his aviator glasses that he wore all the time. And that was the first time I'd ever done that as like, oh, I can do something that's interpretive as well. So that's a really special tattoo. This tattoo I was so proud of because I was at the time a very bad tattooer. And most people don't realize this, but during that time in tattooing, we made all of our own needles. We made all of our own inks. We built our machines. And so half of the time that you were tattooing was trying to figure out why your equipment was falling apart. Like if you weren't really good at making needles yet, because that took years of perfection, your needles would literally fall off in the middle of your tattoo, you know, like springs would break, like it was mayhem. Because you're trying to execute a good tattoo while also battling all of your equipment was just a different time. And today it's just, you don't have to do that anymore. And so now you can really focus on art. And now tattooing is like pushing the boundaries of fine art because we have progressed so far within our abilities technologically, which is awesome. So this tattoo is around the time that I first started getting into Neotraditional. I was still learning and playing around with it. And this was a great tattoo for me to start experimenting with what I call creating contrast with lines. I actually never do a color rendering of a tattoo before I tattoo it. And I do it purely based off of the person's vibe. For example, let's say I was doing a tattoo of Athena. she has armor, but she also is wisdom, and then owls, and I'll ask if there's armor, like, are you more of a silver person or a bronze person or a gold person? Whatever they're kind of choosing, then I pick complementary colors off of that also complement their undertones and their skin tones. As you can see from the colors, it's not as neo-traditional as it is today. There's a lot more pastels, a little bit more of that kind of realism-ish kind of illustrative, you know what I mean? It was one of those things where it was like, I love this tattoo. I think I'm very happy with it. My client was very happy with it, but I wanted to make it better and continue to do that. So that was kind of picking that road. This is, I think, a jump in some of my tattooing where I had started putting out a lot of illustration and prints of neo-traditional designs in my own style. I think this was one of the first pieces where I really started to get into fabric as well as textures. So we have metal, and then we also have fabric, and then we also have hair, and it's super muted. I tend to put out projects, themes, or concepts for people because I find that a lot of people sometimes don't know what they want, but they want a tattoo, and then when they see a project or a theme, they're like, I connect with that, yes, that's what I want. And so one of the things that I loved and love about this tattoo is I feel like it captures a lot of strength and power with just the armor, as well as everything else about it is actually kind of soft. I really love that imagery and how it kind of came together. And again, thankful to my client for allowing me to do whatever I wanted. I love this tattoo.
Yeah, so do we. It's like sick.
It's gorgeous.
This tattoo was very challenging for me to take on. My client wanted a T-Rex skull with the mouth open, and trying to put that on a forearm is incredibly challenging because they're so huge. And again, I tried to capture that it's a T-Rex without it being literally just a T-Rex, if that makes sense, like just plopping a skull on there sideways to fit the arm. There are a lot of people who come to me with concepts or ideas that are out of my wheelhouse or something that I'm not interested in doing or I don't think that I would do very well at, and so I'll turn that down. But if it's an idea that's a little out of the box that I feel like I could actually have a lot of fun with and I can try something new with it, then I'm happy to take that on. I can't recall exactly the connection this client had with this piece, but usually my clients will tell me a story. They'll tell me why they want what they want or what they feel connected to it, and that's what really like breathes life into it. And so then I can put those elements in there. My favorite part about this tattoo is the black background. I'm really happy with that decision. If I could change something, I might put a little less teeth in the bottom, but I really went for like making it look a little like, I don't know, scary. Oh, my in progress back piece. I just started getting into larger work. They take a long time to finish. So one of the things I've really learned about getting into bigger work is how to execute the tattoo is way different than a single sitting piece. You cannot do your line work the same way. Like, it is a very different process. And I'm very lucky because right now I have clients who are getting these big pieces who are consistently coming in, and that's the biggest challenge with these pieces. The more time that goes between sessions, you have to go back in and rework things, and it drags the process out. So when you have clients that are consistently committed and we go over all of that, then you start to get these pieces pulled together. It is always bittersweet because in a way you're always like, will I ever see you again? But I'm very lucky, my clients, they all book out throughout the year and we just chip away.
Early in your career, did you ever think that you were going to be doing pieces this big?
No, I never thought I would be doing this at all. I never set out to be. I had a lot of luck, a lot of really great mentors, and I mean, obviously I put in a lot of work, but I've been very lucky in my career, and it's kind of been a journey of taking the opportunities that come my way, pushing myself, trying to learn, never stopping, never giving up, never resting on one thing. And I never thought that I would ever be able to do stuff like this. I'm still blown away that people let me do this. So again, my name is Gia Rose. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to look at any of my work or reach out to me, you can follow me across all social media. My handle is the same. It's at Gia Rose Tattoo. And if you want to look at my website, it's giarose.studio.
Thank you so much.
That was
Yeah.